But
Jeff, I have one question for you. Do you want to take a leap of faith or become an old man filled with regret, waiting to die alone?
Jesus, did you take notes? Are you reading off of something?
I got notes, baby. I couldn't help myself.
What's the most resilient parasite? An idea. A single idea from the human mind can build cities. An idea can transform the world and rewrite all the rules. Which is why I have to steal it.
Christopher. Throw gang, we are joined by the sultans of cinema, the pharaohs of film, the maestros of movies, the zen lords of zoovies. It's a for real with the core four, your goddamn motherfucking boys. How's everyone doing?
Yo, Future said Zoovies in a song today.
I know, that was crazy.
That's big. That's big Zoovie representation, and you love to see that.
Whole Future tape bangs, and I say that as a non-toxic male, just a lover of male toxicity.
I thought it was mids.
You liked it?
I thought it was mids.
I liked it a lot.
I thought it was okay.
I'm a Future hater right now. I feel like he hasn't smashed since he did the double record, Future Hendrix.
Dude, well, his fucking Mother's Day tweet spree just put
my
it
God.
back on the map.
Oh, well, if we're talking about liking Future, the idea of Future, he rocks. I'm talking about the tunes, dude.
I think the whole tape slapped. I think the whole tape slapped front to back. Although, to be fair, I did just kind of like bump it in the background, but very loudly. And we were kind of talking about this with Lauren. It's like when you play rap loud, like a lot of shit sounds good. But when you put in the headphones, when you put it on like your shitty, tinny fucking computer speakers, it's a different story. But
I did headphones, if that counts for anything.
James is downloading Flax.
What? No, Pinocchio, the Neil Young shit.
Pono.
Pono. The real bougie shit. Anyway, welcome back to the third ever For Real. This one's a little bit different. I'm very, very excited, not just to hang with the boys and our best friends on the Patreon. Did someone just
what was that?
Shit? All right. But also just to get the plot twist going, which is coming up soon. But first, Lawrence.
Yeah. Wait, you're not going to keep in all the other stuff where we explained what the deal was? This is like pretending we did nothing?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so fit check for me, starting bottom up, because I'm not going to fall for this ever again.
Congrats.
Getting got on the Juicy Zoomy, I needed that, and I'm never going to fuck it up again, because that was embarrassing.
That was your training day.
Yes. I guess, sure. I got
because you're a cop.
Merrill Hydromox on the feets. I've been living in these 18 East Gareckis. I really, truly need another pair. So I have those on. NA socks, Supreme, Hanes, Real Tree, the undershirt, and a relaxed lacrosse hat. That's it.
And the panties?
I'm not wearing Supreme Hanes because I ran my laundry. Actually, I moved my mirror to hide because you could kind of see the pile of laundry. I haven't done laundry since Quarry yet. I've wrote it out this fall.
What?
Still going, baby.
Bro, what about your bed sheets?
That's dude. Are you kidding me?
What's your how often?
Of course, the bed sheets. Of course, like
how often do you change your bed sheets? Workout clothes. Workout clothes?
Sorry. Jenna's workout clothes.
Right. How often do you and Jenna change your bed sheets?
Once a week.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Same.
But that's only. But to be clear, and I think Chuck could back me up here. That's only behavior that I'm lucky enough to exhibit because I have somebody pulling me along, dragging me into that direction. I would wait typically, honestly,
3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Is that crazy? Is that gross?
Yeah,
a month?
Like
college status.
I feel like I do sheets and towels at the same time, and it's usually like once.
Well, towels is a completely different story. That's totally different. Well, or maybe not. Maybe the fact that I think they're different is the problem that most guys have with changing their sheets, right?
Towels I do more often, like towels and like kitchen towels, I'll do more often than bed sheets, just because like bed sheets is like it's like a full on chore, right?
Yeah.
I aspire to change my bed sheets once a week, but I think it's once every 2 weeks. Just because it's something. No, I have multiple sets. Don't get me wrong. No, I have multiple sets. That's not the thing. It's really that it's like putting on that fucking duvet is an issue.
Yeah.
And also the other thing is that like I'll wait until my laundry bag is full, and then I'll just be like, oh fuck, like I don't have the room to this is more than 2 loads.
Wait, do you have
disgusting.
laundry in your building?
I have a hookup, but I don't have the machines because it's really like you need like the ventless compact machines, which takes like 3 hours to fucking dry. But I have a spot like across the street. I support small business, chef.
Have you used your portable fucking thing?
Yes.
Not in a minute. Not in a minute. That thing ruled for the first like 3 weeks of quarantine. But no, I haven't really used it. That was like for emergency.
Another thing about the bed
Salute
sheets
a
is
fallen
like
hero.
people like some people spend all day in their bed and some people just jump in their bed when they've just taken a shower and are like going to
Yeah,
sleep.
some people hop about the bed and turn their swag on immediately. You know, look in the mirror, say what's up, and like I'm that kind of guy. So I could last a long time, but yeah.
All right, Lawrence, who's next?
Oh, my underwear. So I'm wearing Hill City.
right.
Shout out Hill City. Shout out Calvin George, listener to the podcast. Hill City General. Salute. All right, who's next? Chef. This guy. I don't know if I'm pointing. You go.
This guy. No, it's this guy.
No, this guy.
No, this guy. This guy. Hey, this guy.
Hey, who's got 2 thumbs and loves podcasting?
Yo, you know who we need to have on the pod is Lauren's uncle, Uncle Gabagool.
Come on, man. That shit. Yo, what is with her?
That video-
They're
that
in
video-
Nostro Extended Universe between fucking
Bringing
Uncle
plus ones.
between Uncle Pepperoni and fucking Mary. Yo, I've had enough, dude.
A lot of
Get in
plus
line.
ones. A lot
Get
of
in
plus
line.
ones.
There's some fun characters. I don't know.
Yeah, up until a certain point, then it becomes
Yo,
the Mary show.
Uncle Gabagool was sick. Mary also, I did appreciate that she out Lawrenced Lawrence. That was a first. But Chef, hit us with the fit check.
I'll go bottom up to no socks, no shoes because I'm inside. Outside, I was wearing my Chacos. I bought a pair after the Ezra pod because I'm a dick rider.
They owe us like 7 pairs, by the way.
Dude,
They hit us up. They're like, yo, what are your sizes and what do you want? And we're like, yo, we all want the fucking murdered out classics. And here's the address. And they never came through.
I will say, I mean, I was a Teva guy. Like I've been wearing Tevas since I was in high school, and I liked them. You know, I thought they were fine. But then I got a pair of Chacos, and then like since it's been like kind of warmer, and since I've been down here in Princeton, I've been wearing them a lot, and I think they're way more stable, way more secure, and I'm a fan.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel like Chaco. If you're gonna wear a sandal like that, like Chaco's that's the first name in fucking that kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
They're pretty dope. I mean, Tevas are pretty standard too. But yeah, I prefer the Chacos for sure.
All right.
I've got some Noah safety orange runners on right
It's a
now.
good fit.
Very
It's
cool.
a strong fit.
This is
Yeah,
cool.
you were standing
You look
about the
cool.
other door and you looked sick.
Oh,
I
thank you.
could see all of you.
You look dope, dude, for sure.
Appreciate that. And then I got the Our Legacy Workshop long sleeves on.
Did you cop that online?
I caught this the most recent drop. I caught this and the turntable slip mats that they put out because
Oh, nice.
fucking fire.
Very
I
cool.
really want the breakfast cereal inspired t-shirts.
It was the breakfast cereal acid like whatever tea that they had. That's the one that I wanted, but they sold out so quickly. Like I woke up at like 7 a.m. that day, and it was an hour after they'd posted. And yeah, they were already gone. So I was.
Well, shout out the homies in Sweden. If the Joker's listening, we need some workshop gear ASAP. And also, please be safe, Sweden. You didn't go on lockdown, and now mad motherfuckers are dying. So I don't know what you were thinking, but
Use your brain, sweetheart.
exactly.
Yeah.
How about who's next?
oh
What about the spectacles?
yeah. The Oliver Peoples. I did have my shades on earlier. These are also Oliver Peoples. And then yeah, Hanes box.
Yo, speaking of our Swedish homies, did you guys cop anything from the Sun Buddies archive sale?
No.
No.
I didn't know that was
What
happening.
waiting for? I only have one pair of Somebodies. I love them though. They're great.
Yeah.
I never really wear them actually.
Yo, the shits were on sale for like $40.
What?
Yeah.
How many
They're
pairs
no,
do you
they're
get?
no, just 2. I was thinking about getting 4, but I was like, that's excessive. So I just caught 2 pairs.
Dude,
For like
I will
$80.
Damn, I'm actually fucking hot that I missed that because my favorite thing is sunglasses, dude. I love having hundreds of pairs, losing them, having fucking, and all expensive good ones too, by the way.
Yeah.
Losing them at brunch,
Yeah. that's the
leaving them
flex.
at Freehold.
Losing
Freehold
them-
is like a graveyard for sunglasses.
It's a magnet. It's a magnet of
Yo,
sunglasses.
how many
I'm
fake
globetrotting.
Celines do you
Globetrotting.
think there's at fucking Freehold?
Yo,
Just like,
I lost an engineered garments flannel on New Year's Eve.
What?
at Freehold, and I'm
That's
still
fucked.
fucking pissed about
Yo,
it.
I
getting
met
naked?
Lindsay Hubbard from Summer House.
That's right.
at Freehold. And she was
Hub
also
house.
I didn't know this at the time because I was only on season 1 when I met her, but she was with Amanda at the time, and Amanda was right next to her when I went up to Lindsay, and I was like,
Oh.
dude, huge fucking fan. And Amanda was like, I'm on the show too. And I was like, I don't recognize you though. And she wasn't like Kyle's girl until season 2.
She was a booty call. She was a booty call in
She was
season
a
1.
booty call in season 1. Yeah. So I like, I didn't really like, pay that much attention. But yeah, in hindsight now I'm like, fuck, that was a prick. I could have said what's up to her.
Damn.
Yeah.
I will say this, copping expensive sunglasses is a great investment because when you have expensive sunglasses, you actually care about like not losing them.
No.
And like not
I
sitting
disagree.
on them.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, do anything, no buffoonery, no
Well, you're
general.
Yeah, you're fiscally irresponsible. So that
Yeah, I think it's more about just like, having an arsenal, because like I feel like certain frames like go with and shades are going for certain fits. They change a whole vibe. That's why I like having a variety of options.
No, sunglasses are sick. Plus like they kind of hide your face and make you like look.
For me, that's the whole appeal.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about sunglasses inside?
Love it.
Yeah,
Can't
I
wait.
honestly,
If you're cool enough.
Yeah. You're a celeb, bro.
If you've got the light, if there's light in the room, I think it's totally fucking acceptable.
Chef, throw your fucking sunglasses on right now. For the rest of the fit check.
Show us how it's done, dude. Yeah, bro.
Chef, what are the panties?
Hanes boxer briefs.
Oh, you're back on boxer briefs. All right.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I have one pair that's not that, and those are I just happen to be wearing them that day. But yeah.
All right, Chuckles. Right
Yo,
here,
you know who looks good inside with sunglasses is the guy who plays the dad in Succession. What's that guy's name?
Brian Dennehy?
Maybe, yeah, I don't know, but he looks sick.
Roy?
Yeah, Roy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
go on.
I'm wearing 18 East slippers.
What do those come? So those come with every purchase, right?
Do they? I don't know.
Did you buy those?
Ryan Cox is the dad on Succession. Sorry.
I bought the shorts and they came.
Yeah,
with them.
so maybe it's like a homie thing, but like I bought some pants from 18 East and Tony was kind enough to slip in the slippers.
I think he sold these, to be honest. I think those were just little treats for us.
All right.
But Eric Emanuel shorts, it's the Fendi ones, and a Carhartt t-shirt and Uniqlo underwear.
Chuck, do you feel like you need some new Johns in your life?
I just copped some shit today.
Oh, nice. Congrats, bro.
Shout out Kaiser. I shopped on his like concept store and got like
That's right.
a little trim off the top. Haircut.
Should we do a little last John, next John, or should we just get into it? I gotta go. All right. Anonymousm socks.
Yeah, that's gross.
EG shorts, like the grandma couch pattern.
Nice.
Copped at the friends and family. Speaking of sun buddies, this is fucking Simon and Hans.
Holdjman?
Yeah. Trebien merch, which I really like. I think Trebien's stepped up their graphics. I fuck with the shirt heavy. And
their brand is fire. Their in-house label is fucking big gas.
And the t-shirts are very affordable.
I don't own any, but I would love to. We should get Flo. Don't we know those guys a little bit? Someone does. Simon, right? He follows someone.
I know Simon and Hans, like not well, but
they're
like,
boys with like Narc Dad. We met them.
I partied once with Simon. I mean, that dude fucking parties hard. Like not like hard, but like that guy fucking rules. And Hans is like the more like low key brother. Yeah. He's boys with Jesse Hudnut, our guy.
Oh right, sure.
And then
your guy.
Yeah, Hanes boxers copped off evil trillionaire Jeff Bezos' website.
Fire.
And that's it. Fit check complete.
Yeah. Do you want to do last John, next John real quick or no? You want to?
I'm down. I can think of some shit.
All right.
All right, Chuck, go ahead.
Go. Chuckles.
I already kind of. Oh, okay. So I got a
Cop Small John Save the World.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted something that would really pop in the zooms or in the I don't know, like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be presenting something at work next week. They haven't told me, but like so, and I don't know if it'll get here in time, but I copped a Stussy like camp collar shirt. It's like it's blue and it has like palm trees on it. It's super trippy and I got it for a really good price. Shout out to Kaiser. And then
kicks in the ball.
Next John, I tried to cop the fucking. I talked about this on live. I tried to cop the Stray Rats New Balance. I love a brown shoe with red laces. So I tried on the Stray Rats website, and I won't know until Monday. I think that's how it works.
You just like entered kind of or something.
Yeah, it's like a raffle.
Oh, sure. Wow, yo, I'm praying for you. I like those a lot, bro. Not only because like that's what's the number? The one that Ame just did. 827?
7, yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's and they freaked it. What did he say? Julian wrote on his Instagram or some shit. He's like, it's a beef and broccoli that's like turbocharged.
What are they green? They're green and purple?
Well, it's brown and green and red and purple.
Got it.
Sick.
Hope I get them.
Cool, dude. I hope I hope you're speaking your next John into existence.
Thanks.
All right, I'll go next. I've been on a bit of a John spree. It kind of goes in waves. So I copped 2 sunglasses off the Sun Buddies archive sale. I don't know what they are, like what they look like. They're big. I copped a South to West 8 shirt on sale off Need Supply. It's big fire. I can't wait for it to
Another
tomorrow.
one.
I copped Needles track pants off Essence, the same ones that I have, which are like the tonal butterfly with no stripe down the side. So it's some real, if you know shit. Like you gotta be looking for that fucking mariposa. I guess my next John, because I had to put a deposit on it. Do you guys know this brand Post Imperial?
Yeah, of course.
You
shouted them out before.
I fuck with it hard, and I was DMing with him last night, and I was just like, yo, where the fuck do I actually cop your shit in the US? Because he's only in like big fire stores in Japan. He's big in Japan. And he was like, oh, No Man Walks Alone is carrying it, but they're doing a pre-order right now off Style for him. So I had to go into some like Galaxy Brain shit in like on Style Forum and make a pre-order and like put down a 50% deposit, and they're making that. I guess
you did a personal order. You literally did a personal order on Style Forum.
Yeah, because it's like dead stock fabric, so I'm sure it's super limited, and they don't want to like produce
That's
or anything.
So the whole thing is right. Yeah. It's like,
so it's this like camp collar, like brown shirt with like a kind of like a wave pattern. It is a heater. I cannot wait, and I think it arrives in like August or September.
Fire. That's sick.
Chef.
Yeah, my last John, the last article of clothing I actually bought was actually a Big Dogs t-shirt. Chuck, you posted that meme on your story the other day, and so then I started creeping on their Instagram profile. I thought it was funny. I went on the website.
They're killing it. Their socials mad.
Yo,
good.
they clearly hired a social media guy.
Yeah, we had
let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it, Lawrence.
Yeah, we've been trying to work with Big Dogs. They're rebranding. We had a call with the creative team. It went incredible.
We had a call with the fucking the current president, who's like, I'm a 32-year-old like dude who fucks with the vision.
The Ezra shit was a big link. Having Ezra on the show is literally where it all comes from. To be clear, we're like, can we collab? What's the charity? Like, let's fucking go. I'm trying to do a shirt. I'm trying to do if you can't pod with the Big Dogs, get out the stew. You know what I'm saying?
And we're trying to do some 5-inch inseam Big Dog shorts, like
not just shirts. We want to do fucking we got
the photo. Have you seen the photo? I'm sure you've seen it on Grailed IG. Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger fucking hugging the homies, and I think Arnold's in the Big Dogs button down.
Yep, he's in a Big Dogs Hawaiian cam collar. We need to make it happen.
That's fucking sick. Yeah, I bought 2 tees from them. One of them is just like a Garth Brooks ripoff, but it says Garth Barks, and it's a picture of a big dog. Another one has this graphic on the back that's like a really cool like tree with yellow leaves. And it says, "Save a tree, make a dog happy." It's kind of sick.
Okay, good message, man. Great message.
Yeah.
Next, John.
What's up?
Next, John.
My next John. I sent you guys the pieces I've been eyeing. I earnestly sent them to you guys. But I have really been fucking with those Anwander shorts. I think those guys are really fucking.
My man wants to spend $350 on a pair of shorts.
They're expensive as shit, but dude, they're fucking nice.
All right, let's talk about how generous me and Lawrence are. Let's talk about how generous Lawrence and I are. We were like, yo, Groms, like, we're thinking of doing this segment. What are your next Johns? And he sent us some links. What?
Lies, complete lies.
Yeah. No, we tricked you. They sent us some
fucking
links,
idiots.
and Chef, you sent us those $350 Anwander nylon
and a blaze orange chore coat, which was fucking
blaze orange chore coat from Orally.
Orally, so
good.
I put it on my mood board because you sent it through. I put it on the mood board.
Dude, I saw it. Their shit is so good.
That's gas, dude. Great idea.
That's one of my favorite brands right now.
We went with the cheapest option.
Yeah, of course.
Polo shirt.
But like
from-
also the spiciest option that I think I'm gonna wear the most often at like summer parties and stuff like that, if they ever get to happen.
They're not.
But
Yeah.
they're not. But you know, on Zoom calls and shit at least. So
Sometimes you need a homie to nudge you in the direction of like you might sacrifice a little bit of like, you know, next level for more of a practical I'm gonna wear this all the time thing.
Exactly.
And we did that for you because we're fellow John's enthusiasts.
it came
that safety orange chore coat, like that's a statement piece, but we went with like the thing that you can wear like once a week.
Exactly.
Dude, it came through.
It was also the cheapest, obviously.
It looks good. I'm super stoked
I'm
to wear
telling you, Lady White is a slept-on brand.
Let's go. They're getting fucking a lot of burn right now.
I have a very specific fit in mind for that when I want to debut it, and you know, you guys will be the first to see it. For sure.
I can't wait. I'm very
Chuck, we just got you Adobe Premiere.
And I'm really excited because at my day job, damn, I don't know if I should say this.
Then don't say it.
I'm being coached at Premiere.
Oh, nice.
So I'm really excited, and I can't wait to make some fire ass videos with you guys.
Kids, develop your skill set. Get yourself a fucking VHS camera. Go film some like, you know, dog fights or whatever, just on some like, you know, Born from Pain shit. Lawrence, you have something to say?
Yeah, and Jesus. But to be clear, remember, we said this before, we can say it again. When everyone gets out of quarantine, buy your homie a drum. If you can, obviously, if you have the means. And James and I are trying to lead by example. And with Chuck, you know, James kind of, I feel like, you know, shout him out on this, but like this idea of like, yo, let's cop Chuck Premiere because it's going to embolden him and empower him to be better at not just what he does for us, but what he could do for anybody. Teach a man to fish. Teach a man to fish type beat.
Yeah, each one teach one.
Yeah,
yo, this would be a good transition to the movie if you guys want.
Well, let me just say that.
You want to last on next, John?
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah,
ahead,
I
Lawrence.
mean, no.
I want to know.
We know the last John.
No, it's not that. There's other things. So the last thing I actually bought was a Wrangler Western shirt. I love Western shirts. I had a vintage Wrangler that I burned through. It was my favorite shirt ever. You
wore it to death.
Yeah, complete. And then I have a new Western right now from Levi's Made and Crafted. That's like a little more minimal drop shoulder. It's very cool. But I wanted to go back and get a new Wrangler to fucking beat up, so I got a Wrangler, $50. And then my next John is going to be a vintage barn jacket, probably like Ralph, maybe LL Bean. I found a good one on Grailed. I sent a dude a binding offer, but I don't know if he's dead from quarantine, so I haven't heard back. But it's like $40, so I'm gonna try to do that. But yeah, that's it. Now, Chuck, again, we're trying to empower you so you can take the floor and just do your thing, bro.
I mean, let me just say this. I think that we Lawrence and I were texting. We're like, yo, the Groms, Chef and Chuck have like are killing it right now. They deserve something extra because you guys have been pulling extra double duty all fucking quarantine, including showing up for and hosting this For Real. And so usually a For Real is hosted and led by Lawrence, and he does a great job at it. I'm actually very surprised at how good a job he does. But this time we're going to throw it to Chuck. And let me just say that as the person that like prepares and like frets over every like run a show and episode, it is such a pleasure to just show up and fucking tap in with the boys.
Yes,
I'm just here to fucking chill.
I'm blessed. You don't need to. I'm very blessed. Yeah, yo, this is Chuck. Well, I guess Chef has a lot of post-production work to do, but to some degree, I do appreciate the position. Again, everyone on this team plays their part to some degree. We could joke that this team has 2 MJs, but yo, maybe we do, right? But ultimately, everyone has a specialty, and that's why I even like doing the For Reals as much as I'm ready to fucking, you know, hit Chuck with a fucking really sweet dime so he can get fucking wet from deep. You know, I love fucking stepping up and taking that weight off of James's shoulder so he could like play in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? This is all about
booling.
Bro, this is the triangle, but with another fucking angle, bro. This is a rhombi type.
It's the Pizza Hut logo.
It's a parallelogram.
It's a trapezoid.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, Chuck. With that incredible setup, why don't you bring us into this fucking For Real?
All right, so it's definitely like I think I can say one of my favorite movies. Came out in 2010. Christopher Nolan's Inception. I remember just to give you a little bit of background on my relationship with the movie, I remember I went to go see it with one of my best friends in theaters, who's like now a very good filmmaker and a really good photographer, and he's like fucking killing it. Shout out Clifford. So that's like, it all kind of started from there. And then it's been like, I don't know about you guys, but I like watching movies on Christmas. So I either watch Dark Knight.
That's a tradition, baby. Fuck yeah.
Dark Knight or Inception.
Well, for Lawrence, it's a cultural tradition.
Yeah, sure, exactly. Chinese food, Zuvi. No, yeah.
Dark Knight or Inception every year since like 2010. So I've seen this movie a lot. And like I was telling the boys before, like I kind of just want to like present my thoughts on the movie to you. And I realize that the movie has gotten a lot of hate and it's been memed a lot. And I was telling you guys like the other day, I was listening to some other podcast super randomly, and they were just roasting the shit out of this while I was preparing the episode. So I don't know. I feel like it kind of influenced my like what I wanted to talk about in the episode and like what I wanted to bring up. But yeah, so that's all the background. The first thing I wanted to talk about was the cast, which I think like in 2010, like honestly, that's like a very star-studded cast. You got Leonardo DiCaprio, fucking Jack from Titanic, Tom Hardy, aka Charles Bronson, aka Bane, Ellen Page, aka Juno, Cillian Murphy, aka Peaky fucking Blinders, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, aka 500 Days of Summer, and there's exactly 3 minutes of Michael Caine.
Yeah.
So I just want to get like if anyone.
Wait, you forgot.
You didn't mention Marion Cotillard, who won an Academy Award, Best Actress Academy Award.
I was gonna bring that up by saying she plays. You're talking about Maul, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She originally, I think the first choice to play her was Kate Winslet.
Ooh.
The movie could have potentially been Titanic 2.
That would have been a distraction though. Also, you're forgetting.
Yes.
I don't know if this is implicit racism on your part, but you're forgetting Ken Watanabe.
Saito.
I wasn't
Also the guy that plays Yusuf.
Yeah, Yusuf.
Yeah.
That guy.
Wait,
too.
can I make one observation that I had that is kind of about the cast but tangential? Yo, this movie, can we be clear, has the best names of characters. First of all, let's talk about...
No, false.
No, let me explain. First of all, the companies are called Cobol Engineering, fire name, and Fisher Morrow Energy Conglomerate. Those are fire. And the name, Dominic Cobb, fire name. Saito, fire name. Eames, like the chairs, fire name. Mal, not so good. Arthur, Nash, Ariande, Yusuf, Browning. Even his dumbass fucking daughter, her name is Philippa. These are big. I love these names.
Philippa,
and James. His son is named James.
What's the origin of Philippa? I always thought that was kind of a strange name.
I don't know, bro.
Well,
I didn't write
let's not hijack this from Chuck. Chuck.
The names of the characters actually spell out the word dreams. If you guys,
what?
You guys
the
know
fuck?
That
think
sucks.
Think
That's
about
corny.
It. Yeah, there's a lot of corny shit in the movie, which I want to talk about later. But
you guys hear my blanc?
Yeah.
No, I can't. Yeah, I can now. Yeah. Wait, are we talking about the trailer? Sorry, I don't want to hijack, but we got to talk about the trailer, right?
Okay.
Have you
I'm
seen
down.
Chuck,
it's the best. It's like the best trailer ever, which is where your mind is the scene of the crime comes from.
Yeah.
Chuck, let's walk through. Let's let Chuck lead the episode.
Fuck.
Sorry, Lawrence. Just free your mind.
Yeah, sorry. All right, I'll stop. I'm gonna stop.
So I don't know, like, what do you guys think about like how is the casting? What is it, good or bad, or is it? That's what I was asking.
Fine.
I do think that what's her name, Cotillard, the female. I think she sucked.
She's the worst part of the movie. I agree.
I think that her like French accent was just like, "What?" And then also just like now, kind of looking back, obviously you have like Tom Hardy as Bane, JGL as fucking Robin or whoever the cop. Also Marion Cotillard is like son of Razul or whatever his name is. Like
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul. Also Leo, honestly,
bro,
his face was just too like anguished. He was just like the whole time. I don't know.
I think that's what made the infamous meme so funny, because like that was the vibe that I got from him like the entire movie. I will say though, like they casted, I think the casting was done pretty well. both. I mean, like at least like JGL had just had his moment. Ellen Page was also like a breakout at the time. You
Tom
know?
Hardy too.
I think at
Same
that
with
time, the casting was like the casting was such a draw because you're like, holy shit, this is such a star-studded lineup. But then now in retrospect, it's kind of like that hype the hype around this movie was like unparalleled, right?
Yes,
So, like,
agreed.
I think that the casting and these bold-faced A-listers contributed to the hype around the film, and you're just like, oh shit, like Tom Hardy looks awesome. Oh shit, like JGL, like Ken Watanabe fucks. Like, I don't know. So to me, watching it for the third or fourth time, it was a bit of a distraction this time when I was like actually trying to watch it.
They should have cast BD Wong.
This movie is in the vein of it's a heist movie, right? And a heist movie is always as good or as bad as its kind of cast, right? All the roles. What is it? The architect, the chemist, the thief, the forger, whatever, all the fuck, exactly.
Yo,
for me,
go ahead.
No, my thing is that, like, yes, the hype around this was next level, but I don't think anyone doesn't deliver. Like, even Leo, like, overacting like crazy, which I agree is hilarious. Like, when Mal kills herself and he's, like, in the windowsill, like, free. Like, I was watching it and, like, it's not bad. And I think, like, you got to remember, it's a heist movie. It's an action movie. It's not supposed to be, revolutionary road, which also sucks, but you know what I mean? Where you see the overacting and it ruins the whole thing. This is like, I don't know. To me, it's charming.
Lawrence, you kind of alluded to like every character's like role in the movie, and they're just like, Christopher Nolan also like likened each of the characters to being like what they would be in the movie, like a director, a producer. I came up with who each of us would be, and I was gonna share. Okay, Lawrence would be Cobb, good suits, young Caucasian stunner, good hair.
Hell yeah.
James would be Arthur. He's the research guy. He does the run of show.
Wait,
also,
is this Tom Hardy?
No, this is
oh, come on.
Well, Chuck,
all right, fine.
Chuck, also, I will say, you can't make me dumb because then I'm the lead. I'm Eames. James is JGL. That's what it is.
All right.
Also,
Lawrence is not a tortured soul. I'm the tortured soul. Chef is the tortured soul. Chuck's the tortured soul. Like,
what? No. Wait, Chuck, keep going. So who's Chef
well,
then?
this was gonna be my thing, but whatever.
Sure.
My list, but fucking Sean would be Eames because I think
let's fucking go.
He like I remember in a particular scene he kind of sells Stato on like the whole operational aspect of the whole thing, and that's Sean's whole shit on some Don Draper shit. He can sell the shit out of whatever, Doritos, whatever. So
you're gonna have to dream a little bigger, darling.
Cut that,
dog. Bleep it. That'll be funny to bleep.
Sorry.
Note the time.
Sorry, I'm wasted. And I would be Yusuf. I would be Yusuf because I'm the drug guy.
Oh, sure. You're the pusher man. He's the pusher man.
You're gonna have to dream a little bigger, darling.
I want to talk about quotes later. Stop saying that.
All right,
sorry.
But now I want to talk about we're a fit podcast or whatever. So I feel like there's something to be said about the fits. I don't think that it was like the fits aren't what like define this movie. Like I don't think it's like at all. And I think like I was gonna ask Lawrence, you like suits.
Yeah, sure.
So,
all right, here's my take on the
my
take on the fits in this movie. This is absolutely not a fit flick, right? This is not The Talented Mr. Ripley. This is not that, right? This is a movie that the fits, you're like, oh, shit, I didn't notice that the first time around. And for me, they fall into two categories, things that stick out. One, the number one thing, Eames has the best fits in the whole flick.
Damn it. I was
Camp Collar's suit in Mombasa is so fire.
He wears cam collar shirts over the lapels, 70s style, fucking leisure suit, Larry style. He does that exclusively. The Mombasa shit is next level. And then, so Eames is the best part as far as fashion is concerned. And then the second thing is that I realized this watching it, all the suits primarily that Dom wears and then a little bit that Arthur wears, it's very, even some of the other leathers too, it's very retro futurism, kind of like a Prada thing, right? Where it's like, it's good. It holds up, and I was
like very sharp collars, very sharp lapels.
It reminds me of Interpol. Chef, we were talking the other day about Interpol.
We were texting about Interpol, yeah.
Yeah, Interpol wasn't as stylish as the Strokes. The Strokes were all fucking The Strokes had so much swag, but
The Strokes.
Interpol was cool for a reason, and like those suits, while not like how I would dress, but I don't know how the years match up here because this movie came out way after Interpol, but it's the same thing. It's like the Interpol now, every pick they look good, every single pick.
That is true.
The
Same thing with this movie.
The fits in this movie do hold up, which is surprising. Like I was watching it, and then I was kind of surprised when I found out that this movie is 2010, because like you look at the fits and you're like 2014, 2015, maybe.
Well, they're trying to be in the future, right? Isn't that the thing? Yeah.
The only thing that kind of was a brick I felt was fucking Arthur.
Yo,
in the fucking waistcoat.
I'm not necessarily a Fitzman, but I think he was definitely like the worst. He wore like terrible pinstripe shit. It would look very like churchy.
He was supposed to be.
He's a very waifish, boyish young man, and so he looked like a boy trying to dress like a man.
But I also think that he was supposed to be. And I think the joke that Tom Hardy makes is that he's like a stick in the mud. And I don't think he was necessarily supposed to be like the coolest dude. And the fact that they casted JGL, who is this like suave, like fucking like cool guy, like it just I don't think it like it matches up in your mind. The
best subplot of this movie is not Mal and Dom, which is trash. I agree. I hate that. It is Eames versus Arthur, that rivalry, because they're both trying to be like a number 2 guy, which is kind of why I think I can relate James and I as that role. They're both trying to, and Arthur has like succeeded because he has the brain, he's responsible, but Eames is more devil may care. That's why he's got the better swag. I'm not saying I have better swag than James, even though I have better swag than James. Everybody knows that.
No, you wear logos, and I say that as a man wearing a logo.
Yeah. The point is that Arthur, I agree to Chef's point, like his character, he needs to have cornier fits. He's supposed to still like look sleek and good to the audience, but yeah, the waistcoat is
that's what it is. He was dressed too slick, whereas Tom Hardy, his shit was like laid back. He was a world weary traveler.
When you try hard is when you die hard. JGL is dressing for the job he wants, which is Cobb's job. Come on, bro.
Eames is a flaneur. Eames is a flaneur.
Eames gets so much cooch, man. You just know
trim god. No, he's the trim
god. That's how he dresses, bro.
I once when I was studying abroad like a couple years ago, I was eating breakfast at this restaurant in London, and Tom Hardy was sitting right next to me. Still
beans?
Dude, so like straight fitted. He was wearing a suit. It was at the time. Yeah. What's up?
What was he eating? Beans, to Chuck's point?
No, he was not. He was not eating beans. He was just eating like an omelet or some shit.
Having a pint?
What's up?
Having a point with the lads? At the local?
It was like 9. It was like 9 in the morning, so he was drinking coffee.
And bro, it's the you fucking K, bruv.
He's sober. I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember what movie he was in 2015, but he was in town for the premiere of that movie, and I think that's what he was.
Dark Knight Rises, probably.
No. Dark Knight Rises came out in like 2013 or 2012. Yeah.
Summer.
2012. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, he had something that came out in 2015. But either way, no, I was sitting right next to him though. It was like him and probably like his manager or something. Very cool guy, I will say. He had great restaurant etiquette. Did
you ask for a flick or?
No, did not ask for a flick.
That's too cool for that.
Yo, one more point about JGL that proves that he's corn is when he steals the kiss from fucking Ariana. It was worth a try. It was worth oh my god, bro. He's on some pickup artist shit in that movie with the fits, his behavior. He's like I think he's a more beta male. This has nothing to do.
I like him. He's actually my roommate from college lives in Silver Lake, and JGL is his neighbor. Or like
Can I ask? And then we can never talk about JGL ever again. What has he been up to?
He's corn, bro. He's full corn, bro.
He's got this like startup that's about like co-creating like fucking art projects and stuff like that.
All right.
I don't know. It's some startup. I don't think it's.
I have to fucking advocate for the movie where he has cancer and him and Seth Rogen smoke
50-50.
That movie's kind of hard.
I like that movie. Yeah.
About male friendship. It's important.
He had a run. 500 Days of Summer. 50-50.
Looper kind of bricked though, right?
No,
like,
no.
I have to rewatch it.
Looper was good.
I enjoyed it, but I thought that it didn't do that well.
No, Looper made money and got great reviews. And no, JGL 50-50 is like an important movie about male friendship. And like, I think that Yeah, for sure. I think 500 Days of Summer was like that peak hipster moment for me. It was like it's the Shams story, right? It's the Shams fucking
Yo,
biopic, bro. You know?
That's the story of me and my college.
Yes, 100%, exactly, bro. Yeah,
That's if
ripped from the headlines, bro.
If Chef ever moves to LA, that's his biopic, his biopic. All right,
But he fell off like crazy. That's the point.
He wore Pumas. I bought a pair of Pumas.
but I guess my question is he even acting anymore? Is he even doing his movies anymore?
I don't think so.
No. He made he took the money and ran.
He was in like
he married this like fucking like astrophysicist that's like a fucking
that's right.
genius.
He's Shia if Shia wasn't the GOAT, right? And you could just be that level to some degree, but more.
I remember he did like an ad campaign or something for some like brainy ass like tech thing that you like SAP systems or some shit. And that was the last I've seen.
He's had some stuff. He's had startups and companies and.
All right,
he's
Chuck,
like that guy. I think he has a podcast.
It's called Hit Record. That's the name of his company.
What is that?
Chuck,
what is that?
Chuck, strike out every JGL question you have on the Run Show because we're done talking about him.
damn. All right. Well, we've already alluded to some of the. I think it's like justified, but like there's definitely some corny ass fucking moments in the movie.
Oh, the whole fucking thing.
And I asked you guys to maybe like keep your eyes peeled for some quotes. So I think one of the corniest little one-liners of the movie to me was when Yusuf's driving the van and he's like, "Sweet dreams," and then he like hits the button, like so dumb, bro.
Ice to meet you.
Oh
Cool party.
Oh my god,
that's a slap, dude. Yo, but that's Christopher Nolan, bro. Christopher Nolan, if he's a robot, bro, and it's him and his brother that write these movies.
No, so his brother didn't write this, and that's the criticism around this movie.
Oh, his brother reins him in.
Christopher Nolan does not know how to write compelling characters.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to corniness, I will say the entire snow chase, like the fuck was that? Just fucking bring Draco to the mountain. Come on, that whole thing.
That part's cool.
Tom Hardy's like, I'm gonna ski backwards now, and then also,
is that one specific act corny, or is the whole backdrop of that snow fortress corny? You got to choose.
I think just the skiing part. The skiing part is corny.
Well, my thing with this movie is that because of the world building where you can go anywhere in the dreamscape, the fact that they chose all these different locations is very impressive, and it lets him fuck around with genre, right? Like the snow shit is James Bond, the chase in Mubasa is more like Mission Impossible. All these set pieces are like. That's why the movie's so cool, because it's so many movies.
It was four movies in one.
Right, and I think that to criticize that is to then miss the forest for the trees. Like that's what it's telling you. And Tenet, which all I'm saying is going to be even bigger.
All I'm saying is that the fucking the ski chase could have been something else. It could have been a snowmobile chase. It didn't have to be.
They have snowmobiles too, though.
I know, but that was also like the
tanks and like snow tanks.
The whole action around the snow scene chase was, in my opinion, corny.
My thing is that when Christopher Nolan does action like that, when he does corny Jerry Bruckheimer action or Michael Bay action, it's always more tasteful. So everything looks cooler. That's why the Batmobiles look so awesome, because he has that technical eye, or the people that work for him do. So for me, when I watch that scene, I know it's the corny on Her Majesty's Secret Service James Bond moment, but it's cooler and more modern and more like Metal Gear Solid aesthetically, which is flames in my opinion.
Okay, aesthetically, yes, and like the whole sniping and like the avalanche and the explosions, yes. But what I'm talking about is Tom Hardy on skis, shooting, like that was.
And he like does tricks. He does tricks, like
exactly. It was XXX. It was fucking fuck. Not look at me. Listen. Not XXX Tentacion, XXX Xander, whatever, with Vin Diesel. That's what it was.
First of all, his name is Xander Rhodes, so respect him. Thank you for your service.
And look at me.
And what I would say is that, like, listen, did I wish that there was less shredding gnar in the script? Yes, absolutely. But, like, it's not. You have to suspend disbelief and judgment so that we can get to the vault that opens up. That is the room from 2001: A Space Odyssey. That is so sick.
Another
Of
corny
course.
moment. Another corny moment.
That's
I think
rules.
is when another corny moment is when Leo gets introduced to Ellen Page for the first time,
Oh, sure.
and he's like, "Draw me a maze."
I love it though.
Takes 2 minutes to draw and 1 minute.
That part's cool.
1 minute to draw, 2 minutes to solve. No.
Yeah, and he's like,
2 minutes to solve, 1 minute to whatever.
sure, whatever. And he's like, again, do it again, not good enough. And it's just like, stop, like just keep going.
Wait,
one
Chuck,
thing I want to say about Ellen Page's character is like the whole movie she's just like, huh, like what, like
No,
she's like doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And then like one thing I want to point out, and this is part of the snow mission part, is like she comes up with the whole solution to everything and tells Eames and Cobb, and it cuts to them and they're not looking at her at all. They just totally shun her and like put her away. I don't know. I just think that like if anything, like her character didn't like.
Well, let's be upfront about it. Her entire character is just a vehicle for the audience, where Leo can just turn to her and just be like, "Here's the one line explanation of the science that doesn't exist anywhere except in Nolan's world of Inception."
This movie requires so much exposition. I agree. And what I would say, and again, I'm going to be the guy that capes for this and is Captain Save-A-Ho with Inception, but I think the movie, specifically in the first 40 minutes, really does an effective, efficient job of doing the science and world building and making it feel real, that you can fall into this movie.
But it does it.
Go off, chef.
It does it in such a it does it in such a corny way where like this thing is like about like dreaming and imagination and like, you know, you having to think about this stuff. But then it's just like Leo like doing these like one-liners to Ellen Page, telling her exactly how all of this shit works, and then you're not supposed to question any of it after.
I think I agree.
And also,
it's
like, and there's so many like just like little things, like little details that they throw in there.
So many rules. There's so many rules around the world building where Ellen Page is like, wait, what? And Leo's like, oh yeah, your subconscious turns against the dreamer. And and Ellen Page and the audience is supposed to be like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. But if you're just like, wait, what? Like then if you don't follow if you don't fall down the rabbit hole, then the whole thing just kind of feels very like artificial.
The two things that I would say to this criticism is that they try to quickly deal with the Ellen Page issue by Michael Caine being like, she's better than you. She's smarter, and you're supposed to infer, right, that she would just kind of pick it up. I agree. It's absurd and insane. Not to mention, like, these people are risking their lives, and that it escalates so hard, and you're just like, all right, sure, we'll do it. Like, there's that quick little kind of fake mutiny when they first find out they're fucked, but then they're just like, whatever, who gives a shit? That doesn't seem to be realistic at all.
Oh, limbo. Oh, whatever. All right, let's go skiing.
Yeah, like how fucked is it that he's just like, yeah, sorry, dudes, you might.
Eames is like, our brains are gonna turn to scrambled egg.
Yeah. and he pouts in the corner, and then Cobb is just like, well, you're gonna have to be here for a week. These dudes are gonna kill you, so you have no choice. That is such a shitty thing for him to do, where he acted in such self-interest to see his kids that he fucked over potentially all these people. It doesn't necessarily, even though he's a dubious guy to some degree based on like things that have happened in his past that they allude to.
I just think that the world building and the rules that we had to like learn and follow immediately got in the way of like caring about the characters and caring about the story, where it's like, oh wait, so you can take Paris and like bend it in half because you're but then Maul shows up because your subconscious, like, it was just the logic. Yeah. The logic only referenced Inception.
He doesn't give you a reason to care about anybody except for Cobb, and even at that, like, you just kind of feel like Cobb's an asshole because
this is the perfect Christopher Nolan movie because it's cold and it's empty and it's all about the rules and the universe and autistic people fucking online and Reddit love it and they can speculate the ending and the science, when a normal person will watch this movie and be like, I don't care emotionally about any of the characters. So again, you have to like know the director, you have to know what you're getting into, an action heist movie, and you have to almost not worry about this other tertiary bullshit and just love the nonsense and the ridiculousness. Like, that's why it wasn't going to be a best picture. It's very technically impressive, but that's what Christopher Nolan does, right?
Yeah, I mean, like the scene where she like folds the city over and the mirror thing, like all that, like that's stuff, like obviously visually is
The aesthetics,
pretty cool.
the
Yeah.
aesthetics are still very sick.
Yeah,
Like the
art
aesthetics
direction,
are still,
art direction throughout the whole thing
Yes.
was
Yeah.
great. But like, it's just like I don't know, like that's not what I look for. That's not the only thing I look
That's
for.
fair. But are you can you punish the movie because it's not what you would do or what you would
No,
want?
no. I'm not gonna punish it, but like it's also like that's why I haven't seen it since it first
Sure,
came out, and I saw it for
Okay.
the first time. Right?
Yeah, I
also
mean
think that-
everything we
I
talk
also
about is
think
going to be
that,
subjective.
I think that I don't know if so people say this of every Nolan movie, but I don't know if that's true, but I think it's especially true of Inception. Is that every time you watch it, you like it less.
Ooh, that's the ultimate. That sounds like what I would hear about our podcast.
That's why we're hemorrhaging patrons.
So I don't know. To me, it's like the same thing Lawrence has said about the movies we've done so far. Is it's like every time I watch it, I see something like I take it less seriously every time, and I like pick up something new every time because there's like all those little details that you guys are alluding to, and maybe like they are kind of corny, but like I don't know, if you just fuck with it as like a vibe, it's yes, different.
Thank you. Yeah,
It's different.
I
Maybe
think-
me and Lawrence are on some mood board shit, but like it's the type of movie that like
Yeah.
I like to sit down with some fucking
I'm not
Christmas
watching this.
leftovers and watch it for like a vibe.
Yeah, I'm not
No, but I
watching
mean, the
this
vibe-
for it to be, anything else than what I know it is. Because I've
The
seen
vibe-
it 4 times, 5 times,
The
more.
vibe is the idea, which is good.
Great
you know,
tag.
like-
Yo, that's a great tagline. The vibe is the idea, dude.
The vibe is the idea behind the whole thing, and I will say it's a good idea. It was an ambitious fucking movie for him to write, but
Crazy.
I just I just don't think that
This
that's-
was also like, at the time, it was like, and Chuck, I don't know if you're going to get to this, but it was like, there was a big divide between like people that are like, oh, I get it, and people that are like, I don't get it. And so I think there was a feeling of superiority where it's like, if you fuck with the idea, you're just like, oh no, like I get it. It's 4 dreams in one.
That's a good transition into something else I want to talk about. And like I feel like you, Lawrence and James, I feel like you guys were maybe more online than me during the time when Inception came out. But like I said this yesterday to you guys, like to me that's like my first memory of a movie being like super memed. And it was like I was big on Tumblr during that time, and like I remember every meme was like Cobb squinting at Fisher, or like Cobb saying deeper, like shit like that. And like even the following season of The Office, Michael's like, saw Inception, or did I dream I did, or whatever. Like so I want to know your guys' take. Was like, did it kind of go viral to you guys in the way that I saw it?
I don't know if you guys heard me just doing a super clever thing where I played the bois on.
No, couldn't hear it
I
because Chuck
think.
was talking, so he couldn't hear
Oh
you.
fuck!
play.
I think that the bois was actually like a big viral thing where people would just be like bois. And there was like, I think there's even like an SNL sketch where they took that sound and were like, if you want to add drama and weight to any moment, you just play the bois sound.
SNL was already bad then, so I probably missed it.
Yeah.
No, SNL's been bad for 40 years.
Chuck, to your point, the trailer and the things like the soundtrack and stuff, to James's point, for sure, were viral moments. And then I think the movie became a cultural phenomenon. It was huge. I mean, Nolan used the fucking Batman franchise and the Dark Knight specifically to establish himself as like a new Spielberg, literally, to some degree, to a lot of people. And he brought good, ambitious, right, like Chef said, cinema to the masses. That is an intoxicating thing, and people love that. And that's why Nolan, to this day, is one of the last few singular, monolithic auteurs left that can just be like, this is the flick, and you can suck my dick. And Tenet is hopefully going to be, and apparently, according to everything that's out right now, 20 times bigger than Inception. How big was Interstellar? That's the other thing that I want to know from you guys is, how do you rate this with the Prestige and Interstellar? Because Nolan, so many people think about the Batman trilogy, which is great, but there's really a whole other
You're
braid that
forgetting
slaps.
his best film,
Memento.
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
I didn't watch Dunkirk.
Dude, Dunkirk is incredible because the timeline is insanity. And here's what's crazy that people, I feel like, didn't talk about Dunkirk. A lot of the bullshit, the Reddit fucking internet bullshit that Inception was tied up in, that to me kind of like ruined it. Because all you want to do one time is Google what happened to the ending of Inception, and then be done with it and not like dive too deep. And Dunkirk, because of the timeline, became a whole nother like Reddit, Easter egg fest, and I hated that about it, but it's a sick movie.
All right, so your question, Chuck, is what was like the cultural impact of Inception in 2010?
Yeah.
So first of all, I don't think memes were at the level that they are now. Like it might have been memed like crazy, but I don't think we could like wrap our heads around like what that even meant.
Sure.
Honestly, all I really remember from 10 years ago was people just screaming "blah," and after that, like all you did was hear that fucking industrial like factory noise, whatever, like futuristic, like in every trailer afterwards. I don't really remember the memes.
That trailer was sick, though.
Dude,
you can't blame
wait,
people.
Can I say something kind of crazy? When I went to go see Inception, one of the trailers that I saw before the movie started was
Social Network.
Social Network.
Yeah, yes.
Lawrence too. Lawrence too, right?
That was the first time I ever saw.
Yeah,
this
we talked about this on the last For Real, which is awesome because I love that there's like a little thread here because we were doing the megalomaniac movies. We should do Jobs, by the way.
The original score of Inception lost to the Social Network.
Oh damn.
Oh, as it should.
That's
fair. That's justice. That's justice.
And I want to talk about that later. But Sean, like, what are your thoughts on the soundtrack? Like, even though it got memed, I think it's good, and I think Hans Zimmer is
Hans Zimmer.
Yeah,
Hans Zimmer was there. I caught a couple minutes of his Coachella set. You know,
Did he drop that?
He dropped it, dude. Yeah.
He dropped the bong or whatever the fuck.
What drugs were you on at that Coachella?
At that point, it was like midday. I was nothing at the time. I was just like smoking weed and like whatever.
Cool.
Same.
But no, the soundtrack is good, and I think that like it kind of changes throughout the movie though. Like I did like the more like industrial parts of it more than I liked like the full like orchestral parts of it. But I just think that like in general, Hans Zimmer is like like really good at creating sound like, specifically for like the movie.
Trophies.
And that blah was like the perfect sound for this movie, and that's why it's like one of the most like resonant things throughout the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Who's playing a clip?
Who's playing music?
That was a car passing by. Playing Bad Bunny. Sorry.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
so it's a plus on Hans Zimmer. A thumbs up.
Yeah, no, Hans Zimmer rules, but definitely not as good as Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross that year, which we've already
Atticus Finch.
Are you saying just movie to movie, or are you talking about like whole discography, like
movie to movie?
Okay, all right. Cool.
Hans Zimmer has such bigger scores in this movie. That's what's crazy to me is that the score for this movie is so good. That's just the testament to Hans Zimmer being like we throw GOAT around a lot. Hans Zimmer is GOAT.
The GOAT. Do you put him over John Williams?
Who did Jurassic Park?
John Williams.
John Williams is my GOAT then.
The Jurassic Park theme slowed down 1,000 times.
Yes.
Best fucking drug music, nap music.
Yo, guess what? Chopped up, not slopped up.
Exactly. Hans Zimmer though he didn't do Pirates of the Caribbean. He did Planet Earth. He did Planet Earth. The Planet Earth soundtrack is gas.
I like the dude that does a lot of the Pixar soundtracks. I think those are my favorite ones.
Well,
you got a friend of me.
Randy Newman?
Michael Giacchino. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's like Italian, but the score that he did for Inside Out. He did it for Inside Out, and I think that score, like that main refrain in that movie, is one of my favorite like scores ever. It's so good.
Well, Hans Zimmer, what he's known for, I think first and foremost for most people, is The Lion King.
For me, it's he did the score of The Rock, starring Nick Cage and Sean Connery.
Oh, great fucking flick, dude.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
If we were to do For Real, and I was to choose, which is not going to happen because I don't want to do one, it would either be Surf Ninjas or The Rock or Face Off.
Why don't you want to do one? I feel like
you gotta do
the whole shit. What the fuck? Why are you expecting to do one?
I don't want to do the work and shit. That's
Wait,
all.
Chef, did you say Michael Giacchino?
Giacchino,
yeah. That's Inside Out. I think the next For Real will be up to Chef. He should do it. I think if the fact that Chuck stepped up And everyone wants Chef to do Lady Bird. He's not going to do Lady Bird.
I'm not going to do
something
Lady
else,
Bird.
and it will be his choice. And then when Chef is done, we're going to go back to James. James will have to pick, and then maybe you and I co-host, and then I can do the next two. But it's got to be some of a rotation to keep it.
All right, let's throw it back to Chuck, the leader of this episode. Chuck, is there anything like? What's your next question?
So first of all, I just want to say, you said to stop talking about Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but he's in a movie that came out in 2005, and it's called Brick, and it's by
Ryan Johnson.
That movie slaps.
and it's by Ryan Johnson, who did
Looper
and
Star Wars.
Knives Out.
You just said Knives Out.
So I just want to say that movie is fucking sick. And if I had to pick another for real, I would pick that one. And so JG, I almost said JVL. Shout out to JVL, but JGL doesn't suck that hard, and I think he has a fire legacy. There's a couple more points I want to make before.
He's rushing. Don't rush.
Chuck, we got nothing but time. Like,
before we move on to, because I want to talk about the movie in the context of like 2010 and all of the awards it won. But there's a couple points I want to make on the movie before we leave. So I just finished The Sopranos. I was like, I had only watched the first 3 seasons, and then I binged the entire thing in the last, like, honestly, month, I want to say. But the ending is probably the most talked about thing in, like, television history, maybe? Like, what, Sean?
Jeff, no?
I'm watching it. I'm watching it right now.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? You know, first of all, Chef, you've never seen anything about The Sopranos ending.
I've actively avoided.
That's the thing, because when I was like in 2008, when I was like 12 or whatever, I was I remember listening to the radio and just hearing about it and not knowing what it was about at all. But basically,
also, what's the rule around, like, it's been 10 years since it ended?
I mean, like, I get it. You can spoil it, but like, yo, you're my guys, please.
Oh, sure.
I also think it's kind of unspoilable, like, is the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think the point that Chuck is trying to make is that just like The Sopranos, Inception, it's up to interpretation of the audience, and the creator, David Chase in terms of The Sopranos, and Christopher Nolan in terms of Inception, they've kind of like been very vocal in being like, we're not trying to give it all away. That's no fun. We're not trying to explain the ending, just like you wouldn't explain a joke. And with that said, I think there are clear right and wrong takes, which is why people
Chuck,
have latched onto this as like hills to die on.
Chuck, what's your question? What's your point of conversation that you'd like to put out there?
I'm trying to think of it in a way that wouldn't spoil it, but all I'm going to say is like what happens in seasons 1 through 5 of The Sopranos is more important than the last like 30 seconds of the series finale. Same thing with Inception. If you and people say that like it's like a smart movie for dumb people or whatever, or like or some people, or even James, what you're saying is like there's too many rules to follow. To me, like as long as you understand like Inception and Extraction, like planting the idea, whatever, as long as you understand that, like the beginning of the movie and the whole idea, and like the fact that like, and Christopher Nolan has talked about this, like David Chase has talked about The Sopranos, it's like, it's the more important part is that you can see that like at the end, Cobb doesn't even give a fuck if the top spins over, if it
he walks away
over or not. The screen goes black because he looks away. So I think you're about to say what I was going to say. Yeah.
The journey is more important than the destination.
Yes.
The real Inception are the homies we made along the way.
Yeah. And honestly, it's a vibe. That's all I was going to say.
Yo, he's in real life. That's my take, and we can talk about this if we want to go. My whole thing was, what do you guys think? Not that I didn't think that Chuck would ask, but I think that's a happy ending, and he's back with his kids. It's real life.
I think he's back with his kids, but I have to be perfectly frank. I haven't seen the ending of this in the last like 6 years because I've tried to watch this movie the last 2 days and keep falling asleep because the shit is a fucking literal snooze fest.
Well, 16 years is a lot long, or whatever you said is it's not 2 days. You've had a lot of time. You just have waited to the last 2 days to give a shit.
but in my dreams, me falling asleep to Inception lasts a week or some shit. No, I think he's back with his kids.
Of course. Chuck, what do you think? And then Chef.
I mean, there's a lot of like little details that like point to it too. Like when he's wearing his wedding ring,
Yep.
he's in the dream, and so at the end he's giving his boarding pass or whatever, going through security, and you can see that he's not wearing a ring. And just like the fact that like if he was in a dream, wouldn't his kids be like looking at him, or wouldn't they know something is up? Like, isn't the whole part of a dream is like your subconscious, like,
or did he build the dream off a memory where they don't look at him? My question is,
and back to what we were saying is like, does it even
matter? It doesn't matter.
He accepts the reality that he's.
Yes, exactly. He accepts it, so it's real.
Like it doesn't matter to the plot of the thing. Also, his dad being in that final scene makes me think that it's like
that's not his dad. That's Maul's dad. Michael Caine is Maul's dad.
Right.
Michael Caine.
But that I remember like that being the thing that made it seem like it was real life.
Michael Caine.
Like I've always like kind of wondered like how did the kids like not age or like change their clothes or anything.
Sure. Very bizarre. That makes no sense. What has he been on the road for 6 months?
Yeah, which like also like maybe who knows, like in their fucking, like time warp scenarios, like that could be a possibility.
Also,
maybe.
why the fuck does Michael Caine have a British accent and Maul has a French accent and the kids are American?
Grandmother.
Come on.
When Leo when you hear the grandmother speak, right? They pull the kids away from the phone, she's a French accent. So Maul's mom is French and her dad is Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yeah, and then here's my thing, right? I agree that one, it doesn't matter, and that perception is reality, right? I think that's a kind of bigger theme that he has like chosen to accept that this is what I'm going to believe, and I'm going to move past this and try to move onwards and upwards with my life as best as I can. But the truth is that, just to Chuck's point, like this is what I guess the internet is good for. He's literally wearing a wedding ring in every dream sequence, and he's literally not wearing a wedding ring in every real life sequence. And at the end of the movie, when he's with the kids, he's not wearing the ring. So if we believe the world that the movie has set up, then the movie ends with him in reality with his children.
Can I ask a question for the two experts on this film, Chuck and Larry? Is this one of those movies that has a lot of like hidden Easter eggs, a lot of like winks and nudges where if you like pause it on a certain frame, like it says something? Like what is the internet obsession with this movie, if anything at all? Because for me, like I do not care enough to like Google that shit, but you guys like must know. For example, like the whole wedding ring thing, like that's new to me. So is this a film that is like chock full of Easter eggs and hidden little moments for the fucking nerds?
I don't think it's like, like jam packed with like little nuggets like that. But like, I think the way it ends opens it up to like Christopher Nolan said, above anything else, the thing he's like most asked about is like what happens in the end. So like, I think the whole thing was like set up to kind of make people think like that and like come up with their own interpretation. Lawrence, I don't know if you, the wedding ring is the one thing I saw, and then just like, I don't know, just the whole thing is like a real thinker. You can
So here's my point, James. No, this isn't like a episode of Rick and Morty where it's known as having like Easter eggs all over the place. What I would say is that this is either one of two things, and you guys started the conversation. It's either a really smart movie for dumb people or a really dumb movie for smart people. Either way, it doesn't matter. This is a way of lowering the barrier of entry for either good film or bad film that somewhere meets in the middle, that's a little bit elevated. And quite frankly, that to me is why there's this entire internet culture around it, because either dumb people are trying to be smart about like discovering things and saying their theories, or smart people are trying to be like holier than thou and like share all the great information that only they know because they're so smart. Right. It doesn't matter what the answer is. The answer is that we are.
I'm not saying that
that's why I love doing it.
There's not a right answer. I'm just wondering because I'm an ignoramus when it comes to this film, because as a smart person, this is dumb to me.
Before and I want to get into like
Chuck, this is your show, bro.
The next and last part I want to get into is like, damn, Lawrence is walking away. I need him. I need someone. The next part I wanted to get into was like putting the movie in the context of like 2010 and like wanted to and go over like who was nominated for awards that year and get your guys' like overall opinion on it. But one thing I will say, and Sean kind of alluded to this earlier, maybe not as extremely, but like 2010, like, and Christopher Nolan was a part of this, but like there wasn't a lot of original movies then. It's like Marvel shit was already going, Batman's were already going. Like I'm pretty sure we found out around that time, like, oh, there's gonna be Marvel movies until like 2020 and like 5 Iron Mans.
This is Spider-Man's. It was Iron Man 2. It was Iron Man 2.
This was original. Like you can compare it to James Bond. You can compare it to like a bunch of other espionage heist-ass movies. But the idea was original, and Chuck, I think that's fire.
Chuck, I want to say that I was not trying to compare it to Daniel Craig, James Bond, or
but Christopher Nolan said it inspired it. So
yeah. But what I want to say is that this movie, Inception, is a testament to original IP, and that's what Christopher Nolan represents. Like that's why he had to do Batman, because he bro. Interstellar, The Prestige, and I don't know if The Prestige is actually fucking OG IP, but it feels fresh and amazing. That's what this movie is, Inception, and that's what Tenet is going to be. Nobody does it anymore. He's the only guy that is willing to spend $300 million to do something that is original, that has never been seen before, and that to me is like, that's the high-low. He represents everything that I think that I love personally, just me, right? I love weird left field shit, and then I also love mainstream shit, and when they meet perfectly in like harmony and synergy with like a Chris Nolan like original IP joint, that's a blessing, bro. Dunkirk, and even to some degree, even though like we've seen a million World War II movies, no, but here's the thing, the timeline in that movie is crazy. Saving Private Ryan is amazing, right? And there's a lot, and there's a million good war movies, but movies like Apocalypse Now, movies like Full Metal Jacket.
You know, Dunkirk's like, that was a real thing.
No, I know.
Okay.
Bro, all these movies are real things, but the original way that he did the timeline, right, is incredible. And that to me is such a level of. That's an original
screenplay. That's not an original story.
My point is that Christopher Nolan is a testament to originality in a world that doesn't care about new things anymore. That's what I'm saying.
No, I agree. I think
structure, IP, storyline, whatever.
He's one of the few directors now that has a vision and will do whatever to execute that vision, and has showcased the fact that his vision makes money and is successful.
Yes.
And so studios trust him enough to the point where they'll follow his vision. So I think that he probably to your point, Lawrence, like he probably used the success of Dark Knight to be like, all right, look, you fuck with the vision of making.
But is there anything?
Chuck, go ahead. Chuck, go ahead.
I need to ask James a question. Is there anything wrong, James? Is there anything wrong with the highest common denominator? That's what I want to say.
With the highest common.
Yeah, that's what Christopher Nolan is. He's not the lowest common denominator. He's the highest. He is the highest form of filmmaking conceptually with new ideas that everybody can stomach and see across the entire country. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. No.
That's good. I think that's good.
He's one of the only directors that's making like art house films on like a big studio budget.
It's not even art house because they're
not art house, but like whatever,
yeah.
like independent, like original kind of weird that doesn't fit in the framework of like a typical successful box office smash.
Yeah,
right?
he's in the studio system, obviously.
I would say Guillermo del Choco or del Toro. He's probably in there. Like he makes like smashes. He fucking won with Fish Out of Water.
Lady in the Water? Was it?
Something fishy? Was it?
Fish Out of Water. That movie sucked, bro.
But it won the Oscars.
That doesn't mean it's good. That doesn't mean it's good. So
fair,
honestly,
but what I'm saying is that he is one of the only other directors that takes like weird out there ideas but makes them palatable to like a more mainstream audience, while still remaining like critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
And James, I think I read something that confirms what you were just saying, which was like Christopher Nolan had the idea for Inception when he made Memento, but it was like the Safdie brothers thing where he had to make Good Time in order to make Uncut Gems.
Right.
He had to make Memento. He had to make Dark Knight in order to make Inception. And like, I think, we talked earlier about like that cast is like say what you will about how corny the movie is, but that cast is like, it's A1. That's like the fucking 2010 Miami Heat. That's exactly what you want.
Bro.
That's you clear your whole roster to get all those people.
I mean,
and I think
The
that's
Shape of Water is the
big-
movie we're talking about. The Shape of Water.
The Shape of a Fish's Pussy.
Yeah, but that shit was ass, bro. But to Chuck's point, yes.
I thought it was fine. I mean, it did not deserve an Oscar, but I thought it was good.
Christopher Nolan has had
I just think that this whole conversation is more indicative of like how broken the system is, where it's like you need to prove commercial success before anybody will put dollars behind your vision,
bro,
in such a way that like
when you incorporate marketing dollars, movies are like billion-dollar product launches. Not really, because obviously, like if your movie makes $1 billion, we're killing it. But they're like, it's like launching a new Apple product, bro. The amount of marketing and money, pre-post, whatever production, it's insane, bro. So,
but that's why everyone falls back on proven IP, which is like why they invest in the Avengers, why they
no one
invest
wants to
in
take
DC.
a risk. No one wants to take a risk.
And
That's the problem.
so Nolan, Del Toro, like a few of these guys, they're the ones that are like they can come to investors or backers with a vision, and they're like, well, we know that you can do this, so we're going to give you the money. Whereas like other people can't do that unless they have a proven commercial success. That's capitalism, baby. Anyway, Chuck.
Speaking of success, I wanted to talk about the success of Inception before we move on to like our own personal rankings, which is like part of this whole shit. One, best cinematography Oscar, best sound editing, best sound mixing, and visual effects. Some other movies around that time, just to like refresh your memory. And I think it's crazy that Leonardo DiCaprio was in this and Shutter Island.
Ooh,
which was
Shutter
like,
Island stinks.
Which is right around the same time.
Shutter Island is trash Scorsese, bro. I do not like it. That shit stinks. I love Mark Ruffalo too. That shit is not good.
I haven't even seen it.
It's a bad DiCaprio year, bro.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Don't people say that Shutter Island was kind of like the precursor to Inception, where it's like he has a uncertain grip on reality, and it's like
very
you don't know what's real. Yeah.
It's all about the untrustworthy narrator, right? To some degree.
I mean, the best part of Shutter Island is the gif where the old ass woman is like, shh.
Was 2010 really the first year that memes of movies became a thing?
No, probably not. But I just like, that was the first time I remember like going to the movies and seeing something and then like immediately seeing memes after. I don't know. I was very on.
I think Birth of a Nation memed its way into Jim Crow. So that happened.
Jesus.
Chuck?
Huh?
Want to keep going?
Oh, so other movies around that time. Social Network, obviously, also
best movie of the year.
Yo, actually, the biggest meme movie of that year was Despicable Me with the fucking Minions.
Yeah, true. That birthed.
I feel like that happened after the fact, and like people were doing like the fried Minions memes.
No, Minions have been like Minions were like Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story or Woody, right? Like it became talk about cultural phenomenon. I said that Inception became that's a $1 billion that becomes a corporation.
I think the first ever Minions meme I saw was a Minion just like, and it was like when you nut and she keeps sucking.
Well, the Minion,
good meme.
The Minion or the Bob today, bro. You know, it's the dichotomy of man, the big decisions.
So another movie at that year's Oscars was King's Speech. Haven't seen it.
Oh, it's good, but would never watch it again.
Sounds boring.
Colin Firth, dog.
Colin Firth was fire.
He's good.
Talented gentleman. Great movie. Wait, good. Yo, if you like The Crown on Netflix, if you like historical drama with big fucking bold names, The King's Speech is easy because it's one flick. It's not a whole series with multiple seasons. I highly recommend it. It's actually good, Chuck.
Yeah,
I'm all about the future.
Is that what won Best Picture? King's Speech won.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
The Crown on Netflix also slaps though. I don't know
of course.
I don't know if any of you guys watched that, but
King's Speech is like it's like a 2-hour like pump up film. Like, you know how you watch like a 30-second YouTube video of like, I don't know, some like high school team like getting
whose house?
Like, we ready?
Run's house.
We ready? We ready for y'all? King's Speech is like that for like 2 hours.
We ready? We ready Well, yeah, exactly. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. That's the good shit, dude.
You know the fucking vibes. And then he delivers a speech while it's stuttering. Like that's like the big like climactic.
No, he spits bars, literally.
Yeah.
Also, that year nominated for Best Supporting Actor in The Town, Jeremy Renner.
Oh, go
Yo,
on.
I
Really?
remember watching The Town and being like, it was fine, but like Jeremy
Bro.
Renner, was he like because
Respected?
now
Yes.
now I think about Jeremy Renner
Bro.
for singing that song on
Stop.
He's not
it's terrible.
The Hurt Locker. He was nominated for Best Actor for The Hurt Locker. The Hurt Locker was nominated for Best Picture and
Best Director.
And Catherine Bigelow is the first woman to ever win Best Director. She beat her ex-husband,
James Cameron, Avatar.
James Cameron, for Avatar. So The Hurt Locker was huge. Jeremy Renner, that was his vehicle. So he was extremely hot, to your point. So show some respect. But yeah, he's a joke now.
Was Hurt Locker 2010 or 2009?
I thought it was. I have that The Town was in the same Oscars.
No, so
bracket as
Chuck
Inception.
is talking about The Hurt Locker. To your point, Jeremy Renner was a guy. The Town is good. The Town is good.
It is good. It is good.
Oh,
but, like,
come on, bro. The Town is good.
The Town, I think The Town was like the crest of like Boston working class fucking.
The Fighter.
Fucking
Remember
bro-
The Fighter? Fighter's
yeah, with Christian Bale.
and Mark Wahlberg. That was another big David O. Russell. That's a big Oscar flick, bro. Boston movies still had the juice, bro.
Damn, Christian Bale going up against Christopher Nolan, his
So
daddy.
But that was the crest of like fucking hard working, lower middle class.
The Town was the last like Boston prestige movie that people could stomach, right? Because they're the worst people of all time.
Clam chowder.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Hurt
they got
Locker
the
is 08. Hurt Locker is 08.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. Guy Pearce, star
So-
of
so
my
for 2
star of my
years-
for real, The Proposition.
Also, True Grit was the same year.
Ooh, bad Coen Brothers, bro. Not a fan. I did not like it. Very boring.
It was whatever. It was.
It's good. I mean, bro.
I love Red Dead Redemption.
It's not even that entertaining. It wants to be.
Red Dead's better.
I think.
No, it was all about the extras. It was about like Jeff Bridges' accent and like the female girl actress. She was fire. But so Chuck, I guess my question is like, why are you? So are you like contextualizing?
Yeah, and the last one I
Inception.
want to call out is another great movie from Inception's era. The Other Guys.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
tweet.
baby.
Good tweet.
Yeah.
With Will Ferrell?
Will
Yes.
Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Huge.
Another
comedy.
Mark
Very
Wahlberg.
funny.
Mark Wahlberg was big in 2010.
It's not as funny as Step Brothers, but I think people don't give it credit for being.
Just got to the crime scene. LOL.
Yeah.
But now that we've gone through them all, let's just do our fucking 0 out of 10 rankings.
Of
Oh
Inception.
shit. Okay.
Yeah. Start with Sean.
Um,
Because I know it's gonna be fucking. I know it's gonna make me kind of sad. Make me feel
no,
good.
no, man. I'll give it like. I haven't done tenths of points this entire time. So again, I'm rounding.
Start it up.
Let's go, baby.
No, I'm rounding. I'm gonna round down. I'll give it. I'll give it a 6-0.
Wow. Okay, better than I thought.
Yikes.
James,
I'll give it a 6.6.
Dark,
6.66.
Lawrence.
8.4.
Dang. Okay.
Damn, that's low for you, Lawrence, because you gave
8.2. 8.2.
That's still best new music though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
you guys are hating too hard. This is a monumental achievement of filmmaking.
I do think
Visual arts.
Bro,
I will
this
say
is-
all right, who's gonna talk?
I
I'll
go
talk.
off personal.
I'll talk. I'll talk.
I go off personal preference. Is all I'm saying. So
Exactly.
that's it.
It's
Yeah.
your personal preference. I will say that the influence of this film is fucking massive. But like the cinematography and the soundtrack of this, you still see this shit popping up in 2020. I'm not going to deny that. However, I was reading articles and reviews from 2010, and like the hype, I think carried this flick way beyond what it actually was. The
That's
hype,
fair.
this movie's marketing was fucking gas, and a lot of it has to do with the trailer. But I think that a lot of it has to do with the cast, the trailer, Christopher Nolan's first flick after Dark Knight, which was
It was his
my
first
opinion.
After Dark, dude. It was his first After Dark, and he snapped.
Exactly, Dark Knight was my favorite Nolan flick because I did make the mistake of watching Dunkirk on an airplane, so I didn't even like get like the whole like sound effects of it all. But
I watched Dunkirk with surround sound, and I had to stop. I turned it off.
It's almost too much.
Too
dude.
much. It's too
TV,
much.
I've seen it on an airplane and a TV. I will not admit I didn't see it in theaters. On a television, bro, it is a lot, dog. It's a lot.
But I do think that 2010 was the perfect year for Inception because 2010 was when like Twitter, like everybody started having like a take on Twitter, right? So I think that right time, right place. But for me personally, 6.66.
Chuck?
I'll give it like I feel like I gave something else. I feel like I gave There Will Be Blood maybe higher than this, which probably now that I saw Inception again is probably not true if I'm being honest with myself.
Wow,
but like
crazy.
maybe like a 9.2. I watch it on Christmas all the time. Dude, it's like I don't know. It's just cool as shit.
Blood?
All right,
crazy.
I've always been so high when I watch it too, and it's just
Chuck. I want to ask you, as a lover of this film, what is it about Inception? Like, give me the elevator pitch on Inception. Like, sell me this film.
I think it's just like, you know, I keep coming back to this because it was the same year, and I think about this summer a lot when I was like fucking 16. But like, it's like the Heat in the first year, like Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James. You put them all together. That first year, like they didn't win a championship, but they still got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like the Inception, and you were talking about the marketing of the movie, and I was reading that like the marketing budget for this movie was like unprecedented.
Yeah.
And like there's just so much juice being injected into this movie that like you can't say it was.
You can't ignore it, bro.
Bad.
You can't ignore
like,
it. You can't ignore it.
It carried it to an extent, and like Leo DiCaprio, all the like the fucking Hans Zimmer, like it's just like there's too much firepower for it to be bad.
Wait, Chuck.
And Tom Hardy is honestly like at the time like he's just a fucking smoke, and he's a great actor too.
This was the Tom Hardy role, the only Tom Hardy role, arguably, where you can understand what he's saying.
Yeah, true.
Bronson also fire.
Yeah, true.
Bronson's gas.
Chuck, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When you were doing your research for the movie, do you remember what the marketing budget was? You said it was unprecedented. Like what?
I think I want to say like the. Damn. Hold on.
All right. Another question. The Heat, that first season, is that when they had the crazy win streak the first year?
Yeah, but they didn't win. They lost to Dallas.
No. So that's proving my point. So it's a huge moment. That win streak is crazy, right? It's the longest win streak ever, but they didn't come through in the end. This was never going to win Best Picture. This was never going to be like, when it comes down to it, like they didn't get the fucking chip, bro. But they made a huge cultural impact, just like, we talk about LeBron and the Heat more for what they did after than we talk about Nowinski. Nowinski had his great moment right there when he retired, but that's the thing. Like, things can be important while not getting the chip. I think that's the perfect equivalent.
It was $100 million in advertising expenditure.
Bro.
Christ.
Sham, if they had given that to Sham, this movie would be fucking, oh my God.
Bro, if you give Sham $1 million to market us, just 1 million, we could have 18 million listeners.
Sham, honestly, what could you do with 10 bands? What could you do for this podcast?
Like
10 bands, 50 bands,
yeah,
100 bands.
Can I Twitch? Can I finally Twitch?
Yeah, you could Twitch.
Shep, what do you do?
It depends. Is it 10K, like 10K total? Like
cash.
We're
giving you
production and media, or just
whatever you think, bro.
Here's $10,000.
What do you do,
King?
What are the first 3 things you do? Go.
Here's the thing. I think I have ideas. This is dorky, but like, I mean,
no, go off.
Tell us.
We are
fake followers.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that's the case. I was actually going to say that I think that we have a very engaged audience.
We already have enough fake followers.
Yeah, we bought those already.
No, we have an engaged audience, and my thing is always, like just being like a person that consumes the media that I'm also trying to sell to people. Like, our bullshit meters are so high, and people aren't investing in creative. People are investing in like reach and that kind of stuff. And I think that I would take the majority of that budget, like at least like 6 $6.5 to $7,000 of that, invest it into making like dope shit for us.
Okay.
And use the rest on like promoting it to the right people, like, you know, the secondary people surrounding us, because I think that the people that fuck with us right now care about us so much that they're already probably talking about it, you know, toward to the people that are in there, like, you know,
Word of mouth is not an area we suffer in, is what you're saying.
yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like Lauren said this on one of our 4 calls earlier today with big movers and shakers, and I tweeted it. You can't furlough clout.
Yeah, no.
Yo, I saw that. By the way, first of all, you cheeky fucking cunt, mate. But I
1,000%.
that. Because here's my thing, bro. Any IP that I say is fair game for the podcast, because when the pod wins, I win.
No,
so
I'm live tweeting every single fucking call we have with any mover and shaker.
You were tweeting jokes from the next week's pod when we were recording it the other day. So,
but I got drafts. I got drafts saved up in TF because I guess like we are our own social media managers.
Yeah, Rob is busy with his job. Listen, you know,
the Rob job.
At the end of the day, good creative fucking works. You guys are geniuses, all 3 of you.
All right.
What's up?
4.
There's only smart people in the
everybody involved in this operation is.
Well, listen, bro. You have an architect. You have a thief. You have a forger. You know what I'm saying? We got the fucking perfect crew.
We got the 2010 Miami Heat.
If we had $5K to just sit down together,
we do, bro.
Yeah,
we do. Hey, by the way, it's more than that. I'm not trying to flex, but like we have a war chest for a reason. You guys don't look at the bank account, but like we're doing okay.
We could make crazy shit. Like we have the power. You know, like yeah, I don't know.
Chuck, I want to ask you this. Coming back to Inception, where does this movie sit in your like top 10 of the decade or top 10? Overall period, like where does this movie sit in your canon?
I want to say like
canon. Canon.
Well,
great the Drought 2 song, Lil Wayne.
Well, Parasite and Uncut Gems are in this decade, right?
Yes,
in the same decade as Inception.
Chuck, if you remember, that was my whole thing about my big kind of like posturing that I did for Social Network. It was the movie of the decade about the decade, right?
Well, then, like, damn, I didn't. This question kind of led me right to like what is probably like my top 4 or top 5 is like.
Well, the decade is 2010 to 2019.
Right now, yeah.
Like
so
it would be like
2010 through 2019.
Sure.
But it's kind of funny. It's kind of like 2010 and 2019 heavy for me because it's like Inception is probably like top 5 of the decade, and like Uncut Gems and Parasite are probably up there too. So. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Lighthouse. Do you rate Lighthouse in your top 5? You love that shit.
I love that movie. I don't.
Good
know
Time?
what? I was
rate
going,
Good Time in your top 5 or top 10?
Oh, that's another one. Fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Inception is not as good as Good
His
Time.
movie. He has recency bias because he's a young.
Hold on. So we got Uncut Gems.
No, it's not that.
Uncut Gems. Right. Inception.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Good Time.
What else?
Parasite.
That's 4 right there.
What was the other one? Lighthouse.
Social Network.
Lighthouse.
Oh. You wouldn't put Social Network in your top 5 of the decade?
No. I would put it, but the Lighthouse is so good.
You guys want to go? I don't even know. I would have to think about it.
No, and honestly,
we can't.
Chef would go Lady Bird.
Honestly, this is
Lady Bird's in my top 10. It's not in my top 5.
You lie. It's on your top 5. You're a liar, dog.
It might be. I don't know. I need to think about it. But it's I don't know.
We don't have to go top 5 now. That's a very, very.
That'll be a fun episode, bro, where everyone just goes and everyone fucking chirps and see who agrees. That could be the next one. It's almost like everyone leads their own little section.
Chuck, when you were in college, because we talked about this like Lawrence and I, when you were in college, was Inception like the poster you had on your wall?
Oh, okay. No, so you guys talked about being like, old boy.
Yeah.
For me, the take a hit. Talk about a movie was Brick.
Oh,
Brick was fired because they invented their own slang for the movie.
It's a noir, right? It's like the world building. It's really great, just like Inception, Just like, I mean, that's
Knives Out too.
Looper has incredible world building as well. The same kind of like, is Ryan Johnson like in that same vein? Like he's that guy, right? With the IP. When you let him cook, he'll cook and he'll make money.
And Knives Out was good too. I thought
Knives Out was a fun movie to watch.
That's what hit for him, right?
People say Knives Out was kind of robbed with like a best picture knobs and shit, but like.
But he got his trophy.
I haven't seen it, so I gotta
it's
watch
incredible.
it. I gotta watch
awesome.
it. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Chuck, what else?
The only, I mean, honestly, that was really it. And I will say, like, I know James and Sham, you guys aren't as big into this movie as maybe me and Lawrence, but like, I feel accomplished because we had some engaging conversation. Even some moments where like we all wanted to talk at once. So thank you guys.
This is great.
I will say this.
Let me talk about my like smoked out one of my favorite movies.
I'll say this: there's very few movies where even if you didn't like it, you could still talk about it for 2 hours, and Inception does like enable that. So
testament.
Well, I think this was good. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
I think it was all right.
It's great.
Never mind.
I would rate this episode a 5.9.
What? That's
No,
low.
I'm kidding. I don't know, 8.2.
Nah, this shit slapped, dude.
No,
it was
for reals are always the best, bro. These shits are the best of everything.
All right, Chuck, take us out.
Well, so just say Sham hit the.
What?
What do you mean? What do you take us out?
Take us out.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Oh, well, first I want to say that Sham, I think, like, I was kind of scared of doing this or whatever, but like, I would really encourage you to do it because like, I was like, damn, nobody cares about this movie. But if you really fuck with the movie, you would be surprised at how like.
That's what I've been saying.
I'm down to do it. I need to think of the right movie. I don't think is the right movie.
My point was I had my doubts and I would love to do a movie. I would love to do one.
Bro, as the guy who has done this the most, I keep saying that if the movie that we do a for real on is like your thing, that should just you've been bequeathed the opportunity to lead the discussion because it's what you care about. It's very simple to me.
All right. Well, I mean, that was all I had. Thank you guys. Inception, 2010. It's on streaming services, Netflix and such.
In stores now, dog.
Sham,
Trap Lord in stores now.
Sham, hit the fucking weedus, bro. Thank you.